Hello internet friends, I just got through putting my Logitech X52 onto this Hikig desk mount here, and I thought I'd do a quick video on how to do this. It's exactly the same for the stick as it is for the throttle, so I'll do the throttle next. But the instructions can be a little bit confusing. A lot of this stuff that you get in the box you're not going to need for the X52, so I'll talk through what you're going to need for it. And the only thing in addition to what comes in the box is one of these. You do get an Allen key, but the final step is going to be really hard with that key that you get if you don't have a screwdriver with this hexagonal end that you do get in the box, because you need purchase to screw it in. But yeah, hopefully this will help people. I found this a real pain to figure out. So let me put that there for reference. So depending on what model you get, there have been revisions, and in my instructions there is a whole section on screwing this together. So this is the body panel number 7, and the top plate number 1 is already on there, screwed in with 2 screws. And there is another part, maybe this is why they've stuck it together for you. It's the non-stick pad. That's part 2 in the instructions, is already on there. And we can go straight on to step 2, which is attaching this, which has the height adjusted bolt is already attached for me. So that you might have to screw that in there. And I think that is the clamp. So that's part 5, that's part 4. Those are already screwed together. And those are 2 fairly straightforward bits. This is where it gets a little bit confusing, in that none of the screws are numbered. They're numbered in the instructions, but you have to eyeball it. So that is exactly what we're going to do. So base plate, and along these runners, you get these little guys, and you have to slot them in there. You'll see that that's the shape, and you just get the shape right and slide those in, and we need 4 of those. And that'll give the screws that we're going to put in something to latch onto. That's the slide nut. Round head screw, short 13. So we have to line these up with the clamp. If I sound a bit harassed, it's because this has been a very frustrating process. You know, we can all do anything as long as things are explained to us clearly, and the instructions for this particular thing suck massively. So this can then be slid up and down so that you can get it into position when you get it up to your desk. Like so. So we'll just put it there for now. This bit, this is the base plate. This goes like that way around. So this is going to be underneath your desk, this part. It's these little flat guys. See that? Flathead bolt short. And we have to do the runners again. We're going to keep complaining at this point about missed steps. I've made that point, can't keep making it. Okay, so we need to line up these 4 roundabout and sort of hold them in place while we screw the screws in. They'll always go out of alignment a little bit, and you just have to keep wiggling around. chiming. Added bonus, musical joystick mount. So I'm going to put mine right at the bottom, but obviously you can slide that up as well, up and down to suit you. Next step are these guys. Bar type bracket to EA. We're going to line them up like that. This is the correct one for the HOTAS. And these are, I believe, the longer flathead screw. It's going to go in here, and then around the back I'm going to put these little wing nut things in. Wing head nut, part 15. Doesn't matter about tightening these because it'll all change once we get the throttle and we have to line everything up, so we're just putting them vaguely in place right now. Where's the last one? There it is. Always a fear with these things that you have to put together yourself, that someone in the factory will have forgotten to put all the parts in the bag for you. And as you can see, the only bits we've got left now, that's ready to go. Okay, the only bits we've got left in that bag, you get one of these bags each with all those parts for each mount, are these. And what do we do with those? Well, I will show you, because I was really thinking a long time about this, trying to figure it out. These holes are actually where the screws go, and I didn't realize that. So we've got to take all the sucker cuts off. So it's going to be facing that way. So we want the throttle there. So that way. Don't make the mistake that I did, screw everything in the wrong way around the first time. And there is a little step here that the instructions doesn't tell you to do, but I'm going to tell you to do it. To hold things nicely in place, there are these little rings. There's one. There's two. Wouldn't you know it? Not even listed in my instructions that I can see. But I think they come in really handy. As you can see, I've used them here. There. To give the screw something to hold on to when it goes down. Let's see about these threads. I just assumed they would all be the same thread size, but they're not. So use round flat head screws. That one's going to work. That one is not going to work. Those are larger holes. Let's get the ones in that will actually go in first. Get it secured in place. Hi guys, just a quick pickup here because I forgot to mention in the video that this bit is the round head screw long, is what we're using next to secure the throttle to the bracket. Also, in this next part of the video, after we've put two of these in place, I start talking about silver screws that come with the pack. This is me basically trying to figure out how to use all four of the holes that are at the bottom of the throttle. I'm not able to do it, but I've left it in the video so you can kind of see where I'm trying to figure it out and what we end up doing. But basically, two of these in the two holes where they fit on the throttle, and then when you do the stick as well, there are only two holes that fit this screw as well. And this is the bit where I said you're going to need one of these to get the purchase, because it's a very tight squeeze. There are some screws in this one. They might be exactly the same, really. I think they might be exactly the same. If they are, we'll screw it. No pun intended. So there are two types of screws here. I don't know if you can see that. One is slightly larger than the other, and I'm thinking this larger one might fit. But these aren't even listed that I can see. So I don't know what's going on there. No, they're not going to work. It looks like there's only two. That's the same as the other one, so that makes sense. I mean, if you wanted to find some slightly larger screws, you could get some more purchase going on it. But from what I've seen with the other one, it's okay. Once it's in place, everything's screwed down. It's pretty sturdy with just the 2 holes, but it's kind of weird that they wouldn't utilize all 4 of them. If I'm missing something, let me know in the comments, but I don't think I am. And you can move it from side to side if you want to, and you want some give. You can move from side to side, but I don't think many people are going to want to do that. You're going to want it pretty solid, aren't you? All that remains is to get it central and then screw these guys in real tight. And these guys really do need to be tight because these are the only thing that are really stopping the joystick from wobbling around. So there we are, we're ready basically. And then when we want to move it back and forth, because that might be a bit too far forward, we're not going to mess with these again. We're just going to untighten these little screws very slightly, move it up. These will come out of position because again, we've nothing to secure them. Put it about the same as my flight stick, and that's it. So throttle and stick ready to be mounted. I imagine it's not going to be right first off the bat. We shall see. Yeah, so you can't move the thing up, so we have to adjust these guys, pull it down a bit, and then get the pressure right. It's going to take some trial and error, I think. Yeah, so we have to unfasten these. And the whole contraption's going to go down a bit, I think, like that. Okay. Magic. It's in place and it feels nice and sturdy actually. All right, so we're pretty much ready to go at this stage, and the only thing to bear in mind is that you're probably going to want to adjust these guys up and down, right? And that's going to mean loosening these screws here. So you're going to want this guy on hand because you'll have to move this forward and then get in behind, unscrew those a little bit, and then push it up and down, right? I hope this video helped you. It's basically me muddling through. If you have any tips how to use those screws or DIY tips to secure the underside of the Logitech to the Hikig base, do let me know in the comments. If you fancy seeing my review of this flight stick, I will put a link up here and play some games and see how it feels. Other than that, thank you for watching. I've been NapYet, and I'll see you next time.